And in fact, why don't you go ahead and put him on the screen as he is in a Zoom room already. This is Mr. Chris Hart. Everybody say hello. I'm going to just kind of intro you real quick. As you can tell, I'm not going to make that statement. Chris Hart has been in my life as a mentor and really someone that ministers to me for almost 10 years now. In fact, years ago, we brought him in when we were running a youth ministry, and we had a night that we didn't know what to call, so we just had a big fun night. He came in, and he preached a message that night from 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 13. And the whole Wild and Untamed brand and just our whole focus for a ministry came from the night that he preached. And basically, he was coaching me kind of indirectly for a while, but he has such an anointing, not only in ministry, but as a coach, that about a year and a half ago, my dad looked at me and said, "You need something. I don't know what it is, but you need something." And I said, "I know what I need. I need Chris Hart." And Chris has been coaching me formally for about closer to 2 years now. And going into this year, I told Pastor Steve, I said, I just feel like our team would get so much value out of being coached. And so he has been an unbelievable blessing to our staff. Staff, if you're in the room, can I hear you for a second? How great has it been being coached by Chris? Phenomenal. And so I asked the team, I said, hey, we wanted to do something just different for our team conference. What would you guys think would be great? And they all in unison said they need to hear from Chris Hart. So Pastor Steve and Mary, they actually sit in our coaching sessions with us because of the things we're discussing. It's just so phenomenal. And he has been so kind as to step in with us today. So please, everybody, help me welcome Mr. Chris Hart.
Come on now, let's go. Pastor Chris, thank you very much. Hey, go ahead and clap for your pastors, clap for your staff. Get loud for them. They love you. They care about you. They want you to be your best. That's what's so great about it. I'll tell you what, just kind of for fun, I hope you're familiar with it. Does everybody here know what two claps and a Ric Flair looks like? I just want to see it. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to go, woo! Okay, let's kind of get it going. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Come on now. Oh, now we're feeling it. And then just for fun, can I just see everybody flex real quick? We just want to see what you work with. The front row strong, back right looking pretty good, back left, maybe do some push-ups. I'm just throwing it out there. Come on now. You see who I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, come on. Hey, it's an honor to be with you. I really do love you. I love your church. Man, Pastor Steve and Pastor Mary, I honor you. I've loved you for a very long time. We met years ago, and I love what you're doing in your community. I love how you build it with family. I love Pastor Chris and Rochelle. Man, more Chris's, Stephanie, Lauren, Gabby, man, the whole crew. I love you. I got your back. And so here's what we're going to do. I need you to just take some notes. Okay, we're going to write some things down. Get your phones out. Let it be applicable. Because my heart for you as members of Metro Life Church is that you love your life, that you live on purpose, and that you fulfill the unique call of God in your life. Okay, I mean, just some basic stuff. All right, just some live your best life kind of stuff. So that's where I want to go with you tonight. And there's one kind of hot topic, keyword, power word I want to talk to you about that I think can help in every area, and it's culture. And some of you know this word. It's like a hot topic in business, but I want it to apply to you personally. I do want you to apply it in your profession, and then I want you to see how it's critical that if this room of people will wrap your arms around it and embrace it, we really can change the world from here. So that's where we're going to go tonight. I think it's going to be great. And here's the other thing I just need you thinking. Under the umbrella of we serve an infinite God. And so what I'm believing for in the next 20 minutes is that you dream bigger dreams, and we're going to create a culture in your life that facilitates that, because that's what God has for you. And I'm just thinking, man, if we're together, you already played a pretty good game. You heard from your pastors. I mean, let's just dream a little bigger now and talk about what we can do collectively together. Does that sound good? Just give me some of these real quick. Let me see some of this. Let me see some thumbs up, maybe a double salute, whatever you want to do, okay? Just real quick, awkwardly give somebody some knucks, okay? And hit it pretty hard, okay? There you go. Here's the deal. Here's how I'm going to define culture. It's how we do things here. Okay? And we're going to talk some categories of your life, but anytime I'm saying culture, it's how we do things. Man, I play ultimate frisbee in the mornings. We play basketball in different mornings. The culture of those games might be different than how you play. It's kind of like, all of it's kind of like rugby. Okay? There's not a whole, it's just, there's not a lot of finesse. That's our culture. We are hitting and grunting and sweating, and it's great. That's our culture. You play your games how you want to play them. But there's a way that we do it. But then there's also the language and the customs that create culture. And so again, I want you to think about it in three phases: your personal life, your professional life, and then you as a vibrant member of Metro Life. The culture that you bring and the culture that you're a part of. So here's the deal. It's kind of one of those words that is sometimes hard to define, but you can feel it because culture drives everything. Miami is its own foreign country. It's shocking. There's so many different cultures that you all get to experience. I was there last weekend. We went to the Inter Miami game. It was wild. I love Miami. And so there's that. But I'm telling you, you get on a plane and you go to China right now. I've been to China 9 or 10 times. You get off the plane and immediately it smells like Band-Aids. I got nothing against China, but I'm telling you, I know when I'm there because what it smells like. And then all of a sudden, I love the outfits, and I like about a third of the food. And it's a culture. It's its own thing. It's shocking. And then you go to the Middle East, and then I mean, it's amazing. You can feel culture. People walk into that church that you're sitting in, and they can feel it. They might go somewhere else and it's going to feel some other kind of way, but it's amazing how it stands out. You can sense it. You can sense it when you walk into your home. What is the culture of your house? What's the culture of your workplace? So I want to lay a little groundwork for it because there's something I need you to do about it. And that's what we're going to dive into. That's the influence. That's the posture of influence I want you to take. Sam Chan, in his book on church culture, he actually said, culture, not vision or strategy, is the most powerful factor in any organization. And what I love about where you're sitting is there is a dream bigger culture, reach more people culture, right? And you've wrapped your arm around, you've bought into that. That's why you were invited here tonight, is because I believe that you've grasped it, and now you're a culture carrier. We'll talk more about that. There's a little country you may or may not have heard of called Bhutan, Bhutan. And back in the 70s, the king of Bhutan wanted to do things differently. And he said, instead of just basing our country's success on our GDP or what we bring in or what we export, what if we change the game and we based it off our GNH, and they called it their gross national happiness index? What would it look like if we based the success of our country on the happiness of our people? And so they put an emphasis on that to let that be the culture of their country. They had 33 different indicators in 9 different subcategories to actually identify if they were hitting the mark on happiness. So they did it unlike any other country in the world. 15 years later, they implemented it, they focused it, they inspected it. 15 years later, they did a poll. 91% of the country said that they were happy, that they loved their life, because the leadership put an emphasis on that. So I look at that. It'd be shocking to see what the majority of America would say about their happiness and all the things that they would say or not say. And we live in the greatest country in the world. but what we focus on will get larger. What we focus on will become a core component of the culture that we want to create. Peter Drucker says, culture eats strategy for breakfast. So I want you to feel it. Like what we're building here is powerful. But here's where I need you to take responsibility. If you haven't taken any notes yet, I need you to write this down. Okay? The culture of any organization is the behavior of its leaders. Dun, dun, dun. You have a responsibility in creating this culture. You're in this room. I made you take notes. Thank you for doing that. Because I need you to feel it. I just want you to own it. The leadership of your church has put painstaking hours, given their lives to create something powerful. And you're carrying the culture, and your behavior as a leader is what creates that. Now, here's the second part. Leaders get the behavior that they exhibit and tolerate. It's one thing to show it. It's another thing, man, what are you actually going to tolerate? Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Man, what are you about? What's your life look like? What are you bringing to the table? What kind of confidence? Man, those days where you're not feeling very confident, are you bringing that insecurity in, or are you protecting the culture? There's something to this. There's something amazing about what you're capable of creating. And here's what I'll say. No organization drifts into a preferred culture. Here's a fun example. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Chick-fil-A both serve chicken. And there is a drastic difference. There could be 0 people in line at KFC, and it'll still take you 35 minutes to get you a basic chicken sandwich, okay? There could be 100,000 people in line at Chick-fil-A, and I will still get in line and I order and I'm eating. It's shocking. They've created a culture. Customer service is a premium. And that's what's so powerful about it. So it's amazing what we can create with it. Okay, so I want you to think about it again through the lens. This is what you bring. You're going to go to work on Monday. And I want you looking around, and I want you identifying things. It's like, hey, here's some stuff that I love about my culture at the office. Man, here's some stuff that maybe I need to take some responsibility for. Because here's what I want to tell you. Culture is a result of what we create and what we allow. So you might say, man, when I go to work on Monday, we've got a culture of excellence. Unless there's 20 people that come in late, and then I would say that you don't, because we're tolerating the tardiness. I want you to think about your home. Man, we say we have a culture of peace, unless you're tolerating strife, and then you don't. So it's interesting. We can walk around and see things on billboards. I asked my daughter just about billboards that she sees. And she's talking about commercials, like Super Bowl commercials. Like, well, yeah, Doritos, eat Doritos, and you'll be cool because you eat these chips. Man, American Airlines, you can fly anywhere. I love that. Lululemon, you should wear tight clothes. You'll look good. Maybe not. You know what I mean? They're selling something. They're communicating something. That's the culture they want you and I to feel. So here's the reality. I want you to take a little bit of ownership. I'm going to give you a couple action items as we talk. But I do want you to do a quick evaluation. Like tomorrow morning, wake up, get in the Word, and specifically in your profession, I want you to think about, man, what's great about my culture? What do I love? What do I want to celebrate? And then I want you to think, man, what are we tolerating that's not ideal? And then I want you just to think, for you as a person, for you as someone that takes ownership, man, what's something in the culture that's lacking that you probably should bring to the table because that's who you are? And I'm just telling you, if you're in this room, that's how we're talking to you tonight. You're a leader. And I need you to look at your life and live your life through the lens of leadership. Because I just personally believe the world is watching and the world is waiting. They're looking for somebody to follow. And I believe that the hundreds of people in this room, you're qualified. Man, Jesus is Lord of your life. We serve an infinite God. Man, let's do something great with it. So here's what I want to focus on next. You as a member of Metro Life Church, You're a culture carrier. Okay, you might not have written on the wall what the culture was. Pastor Steve probably got to do that, and I think he did a great job. But you get to carry it. And so there's three ways that I want you to think about carrying the culture. Number one, your faith. It's a church. I know that's a Bible school answer. I get it. But I'm just telling you, if our faith can be in alignment with the culture, which is what you believe to be true. And I'm telling you, what the church has laid out as standards, man, grab a hold of that. Submit to the belief in this church. Man, the theology is strong and it's right. So if your faith is in alignment with that, you're going to recognize what you believe to be true. And then the other powerful part is that's going to give you access to what you're capable of believing for. And man, I want you to be so faith-filled sitting in this room where you're just dreaming about the impossible things and applying your faith towards it. That's part of the culture of that house. Man, it's faith forward. Carry that culture. 1 Corinthians 2:9. One of my all-time favorites because it rips the lid off. This is what the scripture says when it says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has even imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. Man, how about that? I'm just believing if you're sitting in this room, you've imagined, you've dreamed of some big things. And what this verse is telling me is that whatever you've imagined, God has more. Man, let's create a culture like that. That's the culture of that house, and I'm believing that's going to be the culture of your personal house. What if that is the culture of your job? What if that's the culture of your friends around you? And now there's a synergy of faith, and that's the culture that you carry. Number two, man, I want you to carry the culture that where there's a synergy with the fruit of your life. The Bible's real clear. It says that they'll know us by our fruit. Man, apple trees, you're going to get some apples. It's not complicated. That's what I love about the word. It works for guys like me. Man, orange tree, oranges. I love that math. Okay, that math's right. So for you in your life, man, what's the fruit that's coming? What culture are you creating and carrying? And what fruit is coming out of that? So my question is, what do you want to produce? You get to decide that. Man, do you want the fruit of your life to be joy everywhere you go? Man, do you want the fruit of your life to be, man, when you talk to people, they get saved? I love that. How about that being the culture that you're creating and fostering? Man, are you a person that, man, when you're around, there's discipleship that takes place? Man, you're reaching the next generation. You're producing great music. Like, what do you want the fruit to be? There's a great book called The Tribe of Millionaires. Simple read, real easy. But it's just this whole idea of this group of people that get on the same page with what they want the fruit of their lives to be. And there's such a power in that kind of a cultured focus. And I'm just telling you, if you're in the room, you just got to have a kingdom eternal mindset. How fun is that? I'm not just thinking about right now. I'm thinking about what has an eternal ROI, an EROI, what actually lasts. And then here's the third thing. I want you to get serious about this one. I need you to be serious about the pace that you create in your culture. Man, you're in a church that does things. You're reaching people, you're getting after it, you're doing great stuff. What's the pace that you're operating in? Because here's what I know to be true. The important things of your life, the stuff that really matters, there's no finish line. So on a daily basis, we've got to check our pace so that we can make sure that we're proud of the fruit and that pace is going to align with our faith. Man, what speed are you running at? Man, what's the pace of the effort you're putting into your marriage? What's the pace of the effort you're putting into your fitness and your finances and really seeing people come to the Lord? Man, what's that look like? I'm just telling you, you're going to leave here at 9:30 on the dot, and there's going to be somebody that you interact with that just might need Jesus. You're going to go to kids' sports tomorrow. Man, what's the pace of your faith? What's the pace of your fruit? Man, are you ready? Do you stay in a ready, active position and posture, knowing that there's a call of God on your life that you need to walk out? Man, if we're living that kind of life and we're creating that kind of culture, we're going to love the life that we're creating. Think about it like this. Culture is like gasoline, and the church is the engine. Man, we've got a high octane engine, a nothing's impossible engine. And the culture that you're creating is the gas that we're putting into that engine. Man, it's facilitating the kingdom. For individuals, character is destiny. For organizations, culture is destiny. The culture takes us where we want to go. I want to make one more point about organizations, and then we're going to talk about your family. I believe that whatever organization you're in, your church, your business, and your home, I'm just telling you, I think something we've got to be great at is infusing courage. And the actual definition of that is encouragement. So if you're naturally an encourager, I love it. If you're not, I'm going to ask you to bring that to the table. Because if this room will be a room of encouragers, it's a room of people that infuse courage into the person next to you, all of a sudden nothing's impossible. They did a study on killer whales, random, right? I just went to SeaWorld a couple of weeks ago. They name them all Shamu. They're these amazing predators. These killer whales kill sharks. And then they train them to do flips. I think it's fascinating. But they start by putting a rope on the bottom of the tank. And if that killer whale will swim over it, they celebrate them like crazy and go nuts. Then they raise that rope up a little bit. That killer whale swims over it, they go nuts. They feed them food. They create an environment of celebration. And as a result of that, that killer whale is just thinking, if I can just get over the rope, I'll be celebrated and appreciated. They're infusing courage into an animal to get the response that they're looking for. Man, let's do that with our kids. Let's do that with the people in this room. Let's do that with your employees. Infuse courage into people so they can and will be their best. Here's what I want to do, kind of final point tonight. I want to get real granular on the culture of your family. And I almost want you to take this as like my gift to you. This is going to be a cool takeaway because it's an exercise I want you to do when you leave, and I'm going to explain it to you. The reality is I want you to go home tonight, and I want you to think about what you want to define your family. Okay, we're going to create a culture code for your family. My last name's Hart. So I'm looking at it like, okay, what's the Hart family code? If somebody says my last name, what are they thinking about? And this is what I want to give to you. I want to give you a real simple process for this, because I want you to walk out of here thinking about it. And then I want whatever family means to you. You might be married with kids. You might be married without kids. You might have a kid and not be married. You might have nothing and you live with your aunt. Great. Whatever your family is, I want you to create a code for it, because there's a culture that you're going to create. So here's what I want you to do. The 10 words that stand out to you, 10 words that you want to be known by and known for, I want you to put them on a piece of paper. And then I want you to think about it. I want you to process it. I want you to talk about it with your spouse or your kids or whatever. And I want you to boil it down to 5. What are the 5 words that define you? And we're getting close to starting to create a culture and a standard for your life. And then here's the next part of that. Each one of those words, you're going to write one sentence that defines that word to you. Okay, I'll give you an example of what we created. I think you're going to like this. But the reality is that this is about you. Because if we can get the culture of your home right, you're going to carry that into the church. Man, you've got healthy people in a healthy church. Now we can go reach the world, and we can create culture in your businesses, in your communities, and everywhere else that we go. Because remember, everywhere the sole of your foot treads is yours. So let's get moving, and let's take with us the right mindset and the right culture. So just an example, we created this for our family, and we had a bunch of words. I've got 3 daughters and a son. My daughters are beautiful. My son's probably chewing on concrete somewhere right now. Okay, just living his best life. But the reality is I ran these words by them, and this is what we came up with. Number one is confidence. Man, I want to give confidence to every person we come in contact with. So an example of our sentence is, we know who we are in Christ. We are winners, and we carry ourselves like members of a championship team. That's one of our words. Another one of our words is integrity. We're honest and full of God's character. We do the right thing. And I want it to be simple for you, but I want you to know who you are. I want you to help create standards and culture for your family. And then that's going to carry into everything that you do. And let me just tell you, here's the power of this. Once this is set and this is established, it's going to become obvious anytime there's something outside of that preferred culture. One of our words is grit. My son Brave was playing baseball the other day and got hit with a pitch. Well, he knows grit's an important thing to us, so he's holding back tears a little bit. And I'm thinking, don't rub it. Don't let him see that it stung. Just take it like a man. Take it like a 6-year-old. You know what I mean? And guess what, man? He understands the culture that we've created. And I'm telling you, he took it like a champ and socked a little dinger on the next pitch because the culture's right. And so anything outside of that would have been obvious. Man, if somebody's not telling the truth in our family, we know that integrity is a premium. So it stands out and it's obvious that it's incorrect. And that's just what I'm believing for you. I'm believing for strong, powerful, God-centered, kingdom-minded cultures in your family, obviously in this church, and in everything that you put your hand to. This is how we win. And this is just what I'm declaring over you. If you're in this room tonight, you're going to build unbelievable culture in your life, and it's going to be contagious to the world. There's a call of God on your life. There's nothing that's impossible for you. And I believe if we'll apply some of these simple principles, do these simple exercises, you're going to love the fruit that's piling up, and you're going to recognize that there are no lids. We serve an infinite God, and nothing is impossible. Does that sound good? Man, thanks for letting me hang out just for a few minutes. I love you. I got your back.